I wake up every single day. I am who I say I am. And I get what I get because I live in beast mode. Stop being gazelles. You're not average. You're not even good. You were born to be great.
What's going on, world? Welcome to another edition of the Secret to Success podcast. I'm your host, CJ, joined as always by the Bayesian sensation, Mr. Carl Wesley Phillips.
We back, y'all. What it do? What's up?
And Dr. Douglas Eric D. Thomas III.
Yes, indeed. You know what I'm saying? That would all be nice if it was the truth.
New year, new E. He's coming to you live on he told me he got the AirPods. I said, oh, Lord. You got E with the AirPods. Oh, man. It is
it feels so
it is
good,
truly
too.
getting bougie out here. What's up, E, man? How's 2019?
We
Welcome
here.
everybody into 2019, man. We enjoyed our vacation, if you will. I think that's the first time we ever, I don't think we ever took off that much time, did we?
Not like that, no.
Yeah, and I'm not apologizing for it, man. I have my family down here. Mom and Dad came down for a few weeks. And let me tell you something, man. Just an incredible, incredible time. A much-needed rest, a much-needed relaxation. But I tell you what, man, after that, because it's weird, right? Like, you do Christmas, and it's like, okay, cool. And then, like, you're not really sure what to do before New Year. It's like, should I be working? Or, like, is this, like, free time? You know what I'm saying? Like, that little gap from, like, the 26th to the 31st just had you, like, walking around like Walking Dead. But anyway, we got through it, man, and I'm excited to be back to work. I'm excited to get back to that grind. And we got a lot of catching up to do, man. I mean a lot, because I ain't even really talked to y'all on the break because y'all been traveling the world and, well, E's been traveling the world. Carl, you been at home with the kids. I've been here with the kids, no school, so my kids back to school. I'm feeling like a new man. So catch me up, man. Let's start with Christmas, man. How was y'all Christmases? Yours, I know, is not that exciting anymore just because you don't have babies, but how was it anyway?
I promise you. Oh, yeah, I promise. But let's just start with, what do you call them? The AirPods? Is that what you call them, C? I didn't even know the name.
I believe that's the technical name for the, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's also code name for I got money. You know what I'm saying? You got to have some bread because you're going to lose them at least 3-4 times, and if you keep rebuying them, you know you paid.
Let me tell you something. First of all, that was what was said. So TJ came to me, I'm not going to say Christmas gift. You know, maybe, I don't know what you call it, but
pastoral
TJ came
gift.
to me. TJ came to me and was like, yo, E, I'm just going to be real with you. These next level, bruh. And I'm like, you know what? I remember the last time somebody told me that, it was for the dishwasher. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember like being a person that was like, I'm not,
dishwasher.
It was a dishwasher. Yeah. I remember being like, dishwashers is for bougie people. I remember saying that, see, like you lazy if you use a dishwasher, right? Because I wasn't on that, you know. And then I remember the young lady told me, she's like, look, all I'm telling you is do it once. That's all I'm telling you to do. Do it one time. And if you do it one time, in terms of saving you time, like it's gonna revolutionize your life. Right? So I did it. Oh, bro, I tell you, I've been using a dishwasher ever since. You feel me? So when TJ said it, he was trying to convince me. I said, bro, I already got school, you know, with a loaf of bread. Then I got already sliced. And then I got the dishwasher. I'm like, bro, you ain't got to convince me. But I was like, here's the problem, TJ. I'm going to lose them joints. So, like, it don't even make sense for you to waste that kind of money on them, right? So he was like, all right, cool. All right, well, if you say it, cool. I was like, yeah, don't worry about it, bro. But I do appreciate you. And then, man, I promise you, I was with J Bug. That's what I love about I love the millennials. I love the millennials. My son, he ain't on none of that. Jalen is kind of like, if it's to be had, he gonna get it. And I saw Bug walking around with a pair of them jokers. I was like, what? You ain't even got the kind of money I got. You got an AirPod? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what in the devil? I'm missing out. So his sister, he let his sister borrow them because she was doing the assessments, right? And so she walking up and down the hallway lobby, you know what I'm saying, with them all. And then for some reason, Jay was like, yo, Dad, try it. And I tried it. I was like, ooh, killing me softly. That's taboo. You give me the sweetest taboo. I was like, that's why I'm in love with, bro.
No, are they like that for real?
Bruh, it's like walking on air, bruh. It's like walking on air. I'm talking about like, when I tell you it's like your ear. You feel me? You don't even know that they're there. It's like your natural, normal ear,
It fit
bruh.
like that too. The comfort is fit. It's smooth.
How is it different than just my skull candies? You know what I'm saying? Like with the little core. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm thinking I'm doing something with my skull candies.
Yeah, you feel the skull candies, the way they got this technology.
I can't necessarily say I would classify them as air. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let me tell you, these jokers, man. And so I was like, you know what, Bug? I'm going to get me a pair. And I remember Pastor saying, E. So I'm just going to be real. So I got a system. Because here's the thing, they actually come in a case. So the people who have lost them, they didn't lose them in their ear. They lost them putting them in the case and sitting the case down. You feel me? So I prayed. First day I put them on. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. You know what I'm saying?
Now, if you listen to this podcast for any duration of time, you know he'll lose his head if it wasn't attached to his body.
I promise
So
you.
I'm giving these AirPods about 4 more days.
Bruh.
Before somebody on the streets come up.
Yeah, every day I put them on, I just pray. And Didi was like, okay, whatever you do, take the case and leave the case in one space. So I leave it in my book bag. Like I don't take the case out. And then here go the other thing about these joints that's so smooth. You don't have to wear both of them. So you can put one in and leave the other one. So I don't never have both of them on. So give me 8 months, see?
Just in case you lose one, you still got the
You
other
know
one.
what, though? The only issue I got, besides the fact that they're expensive, you know, he got financial freedom. You know what I'm saying? Me and Carl you know what I'm saying? Me and Carl on financial work release. You know what I'm saying?
There's no doubt.
One wrong move, we could get locked back up. So you know what I'm saying? So we just try to be a little bit more conservative. But on the financial freedom boy, I was thinking about it, but then I said, nah. I said, I don't like how the Apple Buds fit in my ear. Like I can't go to the gym with them.
Right.
Like I used to, like people used to have the buds in. Like, yo, I go to the gym. I'm talking about step 1 foot on the treadmill and it's falling out my ear.
Gone.
So I always had to use like the little regular spongy joints to like plug in my ear, almost make like a little suction connection inside of my ear to, you know what I'm saying, keep them in there. Now, are these different? Do they stay in your ear? Because I think I got the wrong shaped earlobes or ear canal for the Apple joints.
So here's my thing. It's either I'm getting played, Apple playing us. One of the two. Either Apple playing us or there's a new level of technology. One of the two. I'm not really sure which one it is at this particular point. And so I'm saying to all y'all who are listening out here, don't take the money up and not take the technology up. And some of y'all on, it's 2019, so I'm just gonna charge more because it's 2019. Like, don't do that. Because what's gonna happen is if you charge more for your product and people feel like they still getting the same thing, word of mouth gonna go out, you know what I'm saying? And people gonna stop dealing with you. I must be honest. Again, I don't know if they playing us or not, see, but these, you cannot even tell they're in your ear, and it's like they got a baby suction to them, where I don't care where you move, how you move, they don't ever move, bruh. These jokers don't ever move. See, I'm telling you, I was in the car talking to Didi yesterday, going to pick something up. And bruh, it's like they not even in your ear. So whatever they did to the technology, they maybe it's because they might be lighter because they don't have the cord attached to them with the wires or whatever. So maybe it's not pulling like the other ones. I don't know. I just know these jokers sit. Bruh, I've been redeemed. I've been redeemed. I've been redeemed. I've been born again, bruh. It's the real deal.
Wait, let me ask you this though. This is a critical question. Did the old regular joints fit in your ear?
In your ear, yeah.
Because those never fit in mine. So you might just have the right canal built for Apple.
No. See, those other ones, for whatever reason, they just felt fat at the tip. It felt fat and round for some reason. And I could never quite, these for some reason, and I don't know why. But these is different, bro. I'm telling you, this technology is, this is some new technology, bro. We went from the big phone, remember when the first cell phone came out, the big joint, those were the earphones, the first ones, the big joint. And then they went with the small flip. These are the flip boys. And I'm telling you.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm glad they're doing something because Apple falling off since Steve Jobs
They did.
died.
They fell off.
You know what I'm saying?
They fell off. Yeah, they fell off.
Bro, I got
That's the
Candace a Mac for Christmas. She needed a new computer. And so I went and got her, a Mac. And I'm like, okay, they showing me the Macs. I'm like, okay, what's new on the new joint? Because it's like $400-500 more. And my man was like, better screen. I said, I'm out. You led with it. You know what I'm saying? She ain't trying to watch 3D videos on the laptop, bro. She's just trying to do some spreadsheets, some stuff like that. My man could not give me one good read. He's talking about, it got speakers on both sides. I'm like, bro, everything Bluetooth. I got Bluetooth throughout the whole house. Why does she need her laptop speakers to be bumping? I said, bro, is there anything on this computer that's gonna make it about a third more expensive that I need to have? And he was like, not really. I was like, all right, cool. So I got her, you know what I'm saying? And I got her the old one. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm still working on the financial freedom. I would have got the new joint, but I just, you know what I mean? But I'm looking like, is it just me or is Apple, their products just aren't taking a step forward the way they should? Even the phones, it's like, every time I say new phone, every time they come out with a new phone, I say, what's the difference? Better camera. I'm like, bruh.
Faster processor.
You know what I'm saying? A freelance photographer.
Yeah, but no, don't play one. I don't know the newest one, but when they made that jump from the 7 to the 10, I saw the difference in the quality of my videos. I definitely saw the difference in my quality. But to your point, see, and this is why we have to be cautious that we continue to have innovative people in our lives, because people are looking at Steve Jobs like whatever he did, we can do it. And it's like, I don't know that you can. You know what I'm saying? My man had a beautiful mind. And he was always on the edge. He was always thinking of that new technology. And some of us, for real, I'm being real, some of you guys are charging a new price because it's a new year, but your product ain't that sweet. It is what it is. Like, you just like, okay, it's a new year, so I'm gonna charge you extra $20, $30. And I promise you, you're about to lose customers and you're about to lose the power of word of mouth because you're charging me an extra $1,500 as a speaker. You know what I'm saying? But you're not giving me anything more. You're charging me more for your T-shirts, but it's the same T-shirt I got last year. You just feel like, because of 2019, it's a new year, that you can just, if you did $2, $3, maybe with inflation, but you charging like it's a brand new product and it's not. So we definitely need to be cautious with that. But the cord earphones I had versus these, I didn't necessarily hit the brunt of the 150 because somebody blessed me with it. So I didn't get the brunt of that part of it. But I do know that this technology is way sweeter than the technology I've been rocking with in the last couple of years. Even when
I was going to ask you real quick, is it like that what do you call it? The sound quality, does it give me that like, man, I can't think of it. What do you call it? See, when you're going to plane, that mode, shoot, I can't think of it.
Oh no, the noise cancellation?
Noise canceling, yeah.
No. This one ain't got nothing to do with that. This is just, it's almost as if you don't have
We found
nothing.
the one weak spot in the AirPod. Good work, Carl. You know what I'm saying? I knew I didn't want them. You know what I'm saying? I knew they was trash.
I wouldn't say that they sound any better per se. Like, they're not the quality, but I will say, like, yo, for real, I don't know if you had the inconvenience of the cord in your life. You know what I'm saying? This just hands-free, bro. Like, this is hands-free. Anywhere you want to go, anything you want to do. Like I said, it's just like, it doesn't exist. It's almost like they're invisible. They're not there, but you're still getting the same quality. So I'm walking around, I don't have to worry about the cord. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the elevator. That's what it is. See, with these boys in the elevator, the phone don't drop. I don't know what it is, but the phone don't drop.
Oh, it got better service?
Now we're talking.
The phone don't drop.
Apple, if you're listening, if any Apple employees listening, we will take a sponsorship. We will take it.
I'm
Just
talking
want to put
about,
that out there.
After all this talk, I feel like I'm talking a couple dollars. Man, let me do an Organifi drop. They strolling the check, we pumping Apple. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I guess it's Apple's in Organifi, so hopefully that crossover sponsorship.
No doubt.
Oh, man, unbelievable. All right, now that we spent 20 minutes on these headphones, let's see. Carl, how was what did you get for Christmas, Carl? You know what I'm saying? Hopefully it's not something as exciting as the AirPods.
Oh, I got absolutely nothing for Christmas. Nothing. I told my wife.
Oh, that's not the truth.
Hashtag fatherhood. You know what I'm saying?
Real life. What I got, E?
I got you a pair of J's.
Oh, you're right. Oh, no, he did. My bad. I take that back. No, I was thinking from the family.
Wait.
Absolutely.
You got a pair of J's?
He did. And E, not even, no disrespect, I apologize, but I ain't opened them till Saturday. Like, you gave me the box, and I literally set that box in the room, and I ain't opened it till Saturday.
No, they're not supposed to be open to the summer. Yeah, you can't wear them in the winter anyway. So,
no doubt.
Yeah, as long as you pull them out by June, you good.
We good. No, I apologize. E got me my only Christmas gift.
Oh, no, you don't have to apologize. I just said, I know I got him something, see?
Okay, hold on. Yeah, you like, slow down, Carl. Slow down for saying you got nothing. I know, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, but no, I'll tell you the highlight of my highlight / should I have whooped their butts. So I decided, my wife and I decided we'd let the kids stay up all night. Well, not all night, as long as they could on Christmas Eve. Mm-hmm. So we end up, cooking, doing some stuff, having fun, whatever. We started to watch Home Alone, of course, at 11:30. The movie it's probably at least 90 minutes. So them jokers and
greatest Christmas movie of all time.
Ever. They ain't get done till at least 1 something.
Yeah, of course.
Within a week, bro. Why did my kids go find that string that you put around balloons? You know that thread? So I guess my wife had like a whole spool of that in here. Dude, why did we wake up and the kids got the whole house booby trapped, bro? They tied the string all through the house. I'm talking about multiple floors. Like, understand what I'm telling you? Like, this is real. Like, it wasn't like they just kind of tied it around the floor, bro. The whole staircase.
Did you take a picture?
I got a video of it. I did one video of it. Dude, my niece could not get out the room, bro. Like, they had it wrapped around her, the door handle. I couldn't get into the bathroom. I had to go get the scissors and cut all this string. These jokers got the whole house just booby trapped. I'm like, yo, it's my fault. I let them watch Home Alone.
Wow.
But yeah, so that was our highlight. That was our by far highlight.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it was some things in that movie when you rewatch it. He was like, oh, okay, no, he was wilding. You know what I'm saying? He told me
for sure.
Your ass up. You know what I'm saying? I said, I just fainted. Trey looked at me like, he not dead? I'm like, son, it's a different culture, son. You don't come from that. You know what I'm saying? You come from Wakanda. You know what I'm saying? We doing butt whoopers in Wakanda. You know what I'm saying?
Now, I didn't get to see the movie yet, and I do apologize. That's Jalen's favorite movie. We were all in Cali together, but we decided to do a marathon of Uno throughout the entire, Christmas holiday. We didn't get a chance to hit the movie, but I did see a commercial with the grown. What's his name? Mekhi Phife. What's his name? What's the actor's name, guy?
Macaulay or something. Macaulay Culkin or something like that.
Did you say Mekhi Phifer?
I don't know who he was. I don't know what my man's name is.
I was so confused. Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, I did see him as an adult on the commercial. And I was like, whoa,
yeah, he had the
looking a little
on.
different.
You know what I'm saying?
He looking different. Yeah, he looking different,
he looked
Carl.
different for sure.
I'm like, whoa, he looked different. Yeah, he looking different.
Hey, my man eating off that one movie, though. I'm talking about...
for sure.
What, 2? Home Alone 1 and 2.
He is.
1 and 2, yeah. Right.
We tried to watch 3. I couldn't even make it 3 minutes in. I was like, oh, no, this ain't it. So, yeah, Carl kids, them booby trapped the whole house. And then yeah. No, we chill, man. I'm so disappointed in myself, bro. I promise every year I'm like, yo, we not buying these kids a million gifts. And I usually blame Candace. I'm gonna blame myself this time. I still like to go to the store. Call me old-fashioned, but like Candace want to order everything on Amazon. Bro, I like going to the store. I like being in the vibe, you know what I'm saying? The Christmas atmosphere. Even though it wasn't as crazy this year, I think most people just get it off Amazon. But I like to go in the store still. You know, they still got cool toys out, stuff you see. Bro, I walked in it wasn't Toys R Us because that's closed. It might have been Target or somewhere. Bro, they had some sweet toys. I'm talking about, I was sending pics like, yo, check this out. And I just bought them all. So I have a house full of toys and I'm ready to throw them all out as of right now. So
how you do? Because we got the same issue. Birthday right after Christmas. What you do? You double up?
Oh, yeah, no, we doubled up strong. We went hard for the birthday, too. So we did, I told you I wasn't playing. We had Black Panther come to Trey's school. So, we out here, with my cousins in the burbs. We straight brought Wakanda to the school, had Black Panther everything, balloons, and then we hired a Black Panther actor to come to the class.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? So it was, it was a great time.
Wakanda
man. It
forever.
was a great, yeah.
In Wakanda.
No, we wasn't playing no games, E.
Yeah, y'all live in Wakanda, so I'm sure it was a whole bunch
they
of
was at the
Black
front desk
Panther.
like, whoa, Black Panther's here. I was like, you damn Skippy he is. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, you right. You know what I'm saying? Y'all better not hear a word about it. So what, he late? You know what I'm saying? A couple minutes late. You know what I'm saying? It's Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to keep it all the way real. All right, let me stop before I start getting hate mail for being too silly on the podcast. But no, we had a great New Year, great Christmas. Let's see. We got to catch up on our sports real quick. Alabama and Clemson playing for the national championship tonight. Is anybody surprised? Y'all gonna know who won. Well, y'all know who won already. Probably Bama already. But y'all gonna know who won by the time you hear this. But we're recording this on Monday. The game is tonight. Any predictions? Anybody got a sleeper? E, of course, you worked with Bama this year, so I'm assuming you picking Bama.
Hey, not only picking, I'm here with the team. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little uglier. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm physically here.
What do they got you doing? Were you about to talk to them before the game tonight?
Yeah. And then of course the game at 5:00 our time. Weather is crazy here. It rained the last week, but today it's no rain in the forecast. But it's still like 60, so 57, 60. So it's a little chilly. But
oh, that's perfect football weather though.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Not sitting in the stadium outdoors though. It's an outdoor stadium, so it's
Yeah, we've been there before. Remember last time we was there?
Yeah. And I'm like, I thought all of these major games, were indoors, so that it's not, it doesn't.
Yeah, it is a little strange. I feel like most of the big games are indoors, so you can kind of, you don't have to worry about the weather. But I guess they figure, Frisco. You know what I mean?
Man, if they would have done Southern California, it would have made more sense. But to do, this part of California, I guess is northern. To me, it doesn't make sense. But yeah, man, I'm amazed. See, and I know we talked about it before, but when you talk momentum, guys, at some point we don't have to do it today. But I just want to talk about just momentum, man, and how it's momentum is either way. You can get into a rut. You wake up and you just continue to see terrible stuff happening in your life. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, this happened in 2012. It's happening again in 2015. It's happening again in 2018. Or you can be somebody like Nick Saban who got that momentum going for him with Bama, even Clemson, when you think about it. And in Georgia, you think about it, well, really Alabama more so than those two programs, continue to find themselves on the right side of momentum, and find themselves on the side where you're in the Final Four every year. You win the game, the semifinal game. Then you in the finals again. It's just, man, like I said, just being a part of Bama this year and really paying attention, because I think that's the difference. I was so, maybe when I first started doing high caliber gigs, I think I was so excited about the gig itself that I wasn't really focused on the long game. I think I was playing, the short game back in the day. And to be able to say, I spoke for Alabama, or to be able to say, I spoke for this company or that company, I think that was my focus. But this year, I was wise enough to know, okay, E, it's not about speaking. You've done that before. So that whole, is over. You know what I'm saying? Now it's about what can you learn, so that as it relates to ETA, you guys can find yourselves 10 years from now, 20 years from now, still being able to dominate in the motivational speaking area, in the professional development area. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like spending time with him, I kind of get it. I noticed that, for him, because I've been a part of other programs before, and I'm not saying that they're not good programs, but they're not on this caliber. From the time, look, when you walk in, of course, you know how it is, see, that they have these, they have the hotels that sponsor that particular team.
Right,
so from the time you walk in, what you see visually You know how like when you're on the sideline and they had those big poster boards up and it's got like, a duck on it and then some words. Like when you walk in, they got that up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and as you're walking closer to like the elevators, you're walking closer to the dining areas, like all of that is up. So whatever the plans are, when you first walk in as a player, you see those plans. So for a lot of teams, I've noticed when I travel with them, they don't necessarily have that in the hotel lobby or on the elevators. They may have it when they get to the stadium. You feel me? So I'm looking at Nick Saban like, yo, I get it. He's trying to make sure that the environment, that the players, everything. He's trying to make sure that everything is systematic. You know what I'm saying? That everybody's on the same page, the same playbook, the same mindset. And as I've looked at myself as a leader, I'm like, yo, E, that's where you fail. Like, you may have been intense, when it comes to when you guys get to an event. You know what I'm saying? Like, when we get to an event, we might be like, it's game time, but I don't know leading up to it if, like, we walking through the plane or walking through the airport and we got all our documentation. When we get on a plane, we talking about, it's kind of like, we're kind of like mentally trying to get prepared, but we're not really looking at the playbook until we get there.
Well, it's hard to be intimidating when you got your AirPods on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
We're not necessarily looking tough when you just floating on air with your AirPods. You know what I'm saying? You're killing our mystique.
Yeah.
We got to go old school 85 Bears, just grizzly.
Yeah, no question.
Get the score candies.
I'll get back to it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
now, if we came with the score candies on, everybody intimidated, bruh. They like, they ain't got a dime. They hungry.
Yeah. No.
hungry.
I'm gonna have to let these go then. I'll just wear these indoors, but then outdoors.
Just wear you killing our vibe. We a grassroots company, bruh. We still got to keep it real. You got the AirPods. It's no mystique behind those.
Yeah, no,
I'm
I got
sorry,
you. So I'm
continue.
just saying, like,
I just thought about the intimidation factor in your AirPods.
You're good. Yeah. No, you're good. So I'm just saying, though, I'm just looking at the difference, and I'm saying, although it's a slight difference, it is those little things that he does that allows them. It's almost like he has momentum, and then he choking momentum out. Like it's like he's not allowing momentum. He's not allowing the momentum to make him comfortable. And I look at a lot of people. It's like the closer they get to their goal, they get to a point now where it's almost like they're mesmerized by their success, or their success, allows them or makes them lazy or complacent or kind of chill. Where I'm looking at Nick Saban, I'm like, wow, it seems like you get more intense, as you get closer to winning, the 18th boy. You know what I'm saying? So
I wonder. I mean, I think the attention to detail though, E, because you're making a great point, and then we can actually kind of discuss this momentum thing, but the attention to detail is crazy because you look at there's a program, I guess two. I want to give Clemson their props because they've been there 4 out of 5 years.
No question.
And they got one. Bama been there all 5 years. They had the playoffs, which is crazy. But part of me, I was just while you were talking, I was trying to be deep and make a point, and I was like, man, I wonder if it helps that Saban can kind of refresh his players every 4 years, right? Because you get people to buy into a new system and it don't get stale and it don't get old. And then I look at the NFL and I go, yo, everybody doing all this talking about the playoffs and all the Chiefs and the Rams and all these sexy teams that's floating around. And I said, everybody sitting there and the Patriots just sitting there right at the 2 seed, still there. And they're going to the Super Bowl. And it's crazy. Like, they don't necessarily turn their players over as often as Bama, right? Like, they've been going strong and winning for so long. I think they won, like, the division 10 years in a row. I'm like, okay, now that's just crazy.
10 years in a row.
It's no longer luck. And so let's think about this because we want to bring this down to, our level, right? So how can we apply this and make it applicable for our own habits and our own success strategies in 2019? When you look at Alabama, when you look at even the Clemson or the Patriots, how can we in our own lives start to get that momentum on our side? A lot of people started with the New Year's resolutions, right? Everybody wants to, have a New Year's resolution. They're excited about the resolution. Some of them, hopefully y'all still on it now when you get this podcast. I believe it's only like the 9th or the 10th or something like that. So hopefully you still on it. And you may have gained some momentum. How does an Alabama, how does a New England Patriots, how does an Eric Thomas keep that momentum going when most people, when you hit a brick wall or you hit that kind of threshold where it hurts and you don't feel like going, how do you keep that momentum going besides just saying, oh, okay, here go, some philosophical beliefs, but like, how do you tangibly keep that momentum going in your life?
Yeah, what's funny, y'all? I've been telling people, when they ask me, what book should you read? I said, the book of self. Because I was like, here's the deal. When you're reading like John Maxwell's book, you're reading Malcolm Gladwell's stuff, Og Mandino, Dennis Kimbrough. What happens is you're still reading, guys, whether we want to admit it or not, you're still reading the experience of another human, right? And when you read the experience of another human, while you can take it and be successful, of course, you're not going to be able to do it to the level that they're able to do it because that's their journey, right? And that's how they're processing, their truth, right? So I started telling people, the book of self. And one of the things I did not realize, our RIP, Chris Daniels, I didn't realize that one of the things Chris had done for us was exactly what Alabama is doing, exactly what Clemson is doing, and that is Chris gave us a playbook, right? So Chris gave us a playbook where we can have a common language. He introduced us gorilla, flamingo, turtle, chameleon, or whatever, and some of the qualities of, and kind of got us going. Like, okay, so if I need to execute, then I need to go to somebody who's strong, in the E. If I need a people person, I need to go to somebody who's strong in the, if I need somebody that's supportive, I need to go to if I need somebody that can create systems, I need to go to So he really created this, and not necessarily him, but he took the DISC assessment and was able to take that thing, and make it and simplify it for us, right? And so I'm like, yo, my man gave us a playbook, right? So here's what I felt like I did wrong. And again, this is what I realized watching Nick Saban is that you don't get mesmerized by your success, or you don't let your success make you complacent. You really go harder. So I'm looking at Nick Saban, more specifically Sean Payton. Like Sean Payton, he sends me videos, he'll send me books, and he like, yo, E, this is what you need to do. So I realized like Sean is studying, he going in. And I'm like, yo, Chris gave me the playbook. I gave it to you guys, but kind of like, randomly, if you will. Kind of like, I didn't go, all right, guys, we need to read this once a week. All right, guys, we need to study this. And then when Chris died, I never said this. I said it on the call Sunday, but Chris was the only person that my wife, was communicating with on some, all right, I'm trying to, get through this in our marriage. What does the assessment say? What is Eric? How do I do whatever? And so when Chris died, I felt like, I had lost that individual who I might have called and been like, all right, the team, as far as like, where's the areas of growth for me? Where's the gaps? How do I do this? And so when I lost Chris, I lost that. And so I went and got certified because I was like, okay, I need to get the source of what he left for me. So for me, one of the things that you can do is find that particular professional development, or find that, that coach or that niche like in your field, so that you'll never stop learning. So when I took the test, I'll be real, when I got certified about a month or two ago, like, I'm like, yo, now I see what Chris was doing. Now I get it. And so now I'm not even getting the information just from Chris. I went to the source and got it. And so it was so funny. I had a couple at church, and I was saying some stuff, and they literally said this. Like, bro, I heard people have said this to me this week, like, you a prophet. And I'm like, I'm not a prophet. I went and took the test. And humans have patterns, bro. Like, this is what you're doing, this is what you're doing, this is what you're doing. And I'm not telling nobody to change. I'm just telling you, if you keep doing this, you're gonna keep doing that. And if you want this, you might want to do that. So I think for me, it's not getting to the point where it's like, yo, I'm considered the number one motivational speaker in the world. Okay, yes. What does that mean? That might mean from a social media standpoint that we have reached, a certain level. But I guarantee you that there are millions of people that don't even know who I am. So instead of getting geeked that we have, millions of people who rock with us, my new thing has been, okay, E, why is there a group that don't know you? So when you with one person, they like taking a pic, they're like, yo, E.T., and the other person looking like, yo, why are you sweating, my man? Who is this? And so I'm not just geeked, see, like, oh, my man want to take a pic. Oh, she want to take a pic. She say changed my life. I'm focused on the dude that's sitting there looking boo-boo face. He not saying nothing, but he looking like, who is my man? And I'm thinking, yo, why doesn't he know who we are? Like, how did this dude get the info? And why is it that you didn't get it? Why is this company knows who we are, but this company has never heard of our work before? And so now I'm focusing on this year, okay, E, what don't you, okay, you know what you're strong at, but what are you not strong at? What are the things you can get strong at? And then what are the things that no matter how hard you work, you will never be strong at them. So you don't even need to try. You need to find somebody that can make it happen. So I'll open it up to you guys, but I'll just say this. Regina is a turtle. And I realized by going through the assessment was like, okay, you got gorillas in your life. You got chameleons in your life. What you don't have is that systematic person. You don't have that person that can put that plan together for you. And so I sat down with Regina, did what I knew the test said I was strong at, right? The assessment said that you have ideas, you have visions, you see things through, you know how to simplify things so that the average human can get it. So now what you need to do is talk to Regina, and me and Regina kicked it for about, bro, I sent her an audio. I ain't even talked to her. I sent her a 5-minute audio, boy. We talked after she finished everything, made a couple tweaks, and now we got a 136-page document that is my mind and everything I've gone through in the last 20 years that I couldn't express in writing. And listen to me, when I did the assessment, like when I went and took it, I realized like, yo, E, and it was funny, I heard C say this one time. C was like, man, if I had my choice, I'd just work with gorillas, right? And so I realized like, yo, when you think the way I think, you don't necessarily need step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. But as I looked at the test, I'm like, at least 50% of the if not a greater population of the world.
50 to 60 probably, yeah.
They do need steps, bro. And that's what the test told me. The test was like, yo, bro, you don't live in this world by yourself. This ain't no flamingo world. You don't live in a world full of flamingos. Now, there might be, I think, between flamingos and what we would consider chameleons is the highest number. The gorilla is the smallest population of people on the earth. And then after that, it's the turtles. So it's like at least 60% of the world's population needs step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. And you can't be pissed, E, because they asking you a series of questions. It's not like they don't want to do it. They just saying like, we got to be semi-informed or fully informed in order for us to execute. So by me studying the book of self, studying, and for those of you who are interested, I'm sure Carl has the test on our site that you can look at. But I'm telling you, bro, I sat down with your girl. We got it done. And I can't tell you how many people that are friends of mine. I got members of the church, Carl, that's calling me like, yo, I got that Plan to Prosper journal and I got the reverse engineer. And all the reverse engineer is what C taught us. That's what C taught us. But for some people, they could hear it on the podcast. But if they don't have it in writing, if it's not, like they need to be able to read it, touch it, feel it, see it, write on it. They're like, oh, that reverse engineer sheet is sweet. E, what made you think of that? I'm like, that's something C's been talking about. And you've been hearing us talk about it on the podcast for the last, 3 or 4 years. So that's what's working for me this year, man. Really looking at what am I great at? What are my blind spots? Because I think, Carl, the blind spots is where the greatest growth is. If you sweet at what you already sweet at, that's cool. And that might give you 10%, maybe 15% growth. But if you fix those blind spots, bruh, you're looking at 40, 50% growth. And then when you realize, yo, this is just a weakness. I'll never be orderly, so I can't do it. And when my wife used to be like, man, I went through this assessment, and then I looked at Dee like I can be in a store and there'll be a car behind me, and Dee be like, Eric, there's a car behind you. There's a car. I'm like, okay, and why are you tripping? Or when I'm driving, Didi might be like, what's the speed limit? I'm like, I don't know. I don't care. She's like, it's 35, it's 45. And when I looked at her test, she's high turtle, and she has an infinity for order. So when Didi's with me and a car's behind me, and I'm like on my phone texting, to Didi, it's like, okay, come on. This car behind you. It's like, I used to wonder, like, why is she tripping? She's not tripping. She has a preference. She has an infinity for order. So when things are out of order, the house not clean, my stuff is all over the place, it's not that Didi's taking it personal against me. She just has an infinity for order. So I realized, okay, E, order is not your thing because you are very creative. And as a creative person, you don't write inside the lines, you write outside the lines. But when you're with Didi, you just need to do a better job of being orderly. Now, if she's not with you, you can text as much as you want to. You can do 100 miles per hour if you want to. But I will say this, Carl, I thought the test was phenomenal because it shows how orderly Didi is. Didi has never gotten a speeding ticket in her life, bruh. She has never gotten a speeding ticket. She has never gotten a violation. And it's why? Because she has an infinity for order. So I'm telling you, man, I just been studying, see myself, looking at where I need to grow, where there are gaps for ET, where the most growth is for ET, and like Bama.
Well, you just said something. Though I want to make sure that I catch and the people catch what you're saying. So, with the areas that you are weak in, you're not suggesting that you do it yourself. You're suggesting you find somebody and plug that gap, because I think people might be hearing that and go, okay, I'm super creative. I'm a visionary. I'm all this. I need to work on like being detailed, not start learning how to do spreadsheets.
No. This is what I am saying, though. I do need to understand my wife enough to be able to communicate with my wife, right? So I'll give you an example. When we're in hotels, or we're in airports or whatever, people ask me how good is my Spanish. It ain't good enough for me to preach, but I guarantee you it's good enough for me to tell somebody what I want. You know what I'm saying? It's good enough to tell you what I need. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? It's good enough when I'm lost, to ask, you know what I'm saying? It's good enough to maybe, pray with somebody. I know how to pray. I know how to read a couple scriptures. You know what I'm saying? It's good. It's not enough to communicate fluently like that, but I can get in the arena with somebody who speaks the language and be able to, communicate, on a basic level. And so I'm saying, while I might not be a turtle, I can't talk to a turtle and get help if I can't communicate with them in the way they need to be communicated. You feel what I'm saying? So with Regina, I couldn't come at her as Eric Thomas. I had to understand Regina's language and give her enough of what she needed so she could take it and go with it. So I'm not suggesting that you become strong in what you weak, but you need to be competent enough where you can understand that person and speak to that person in a way where they can support you and get you what you need. And that plan to prosper, bro, I promise you. And then the other thing I had to realize, was, it's no need to get it actually printed. Bro, we live in an era now, digitize that joker. Just let them push it, and then you can write on it and print it out at your leisure. So I'm just learning a lot, man, about, you're strong in this area, but you're not strong in all areas. Know what your blind spots are, deal with those blind spots, and then get the help you need to take you to that next level.
What's tripping me out, y'all, and as we're talking about systems and players, forgive me, I'm a Laker fan. I'm going back to the triangle. I'm going back to the Stockton and Malone pick and roll. Like, I'm going back to these systems, and it's just like, it's not even deep. Like, Carl Phillips can go on Google and figure out the triangle. Of course, you had Michael Jordan, you had Kobe Bryant. They're X factors. Like, put that aside. They're still playing the triangle. They're still doing the pick and roll to this day. How is it that these systems are that deep? The book of self, studying the assessment. How is it that these systems are that deep that they cannot be defeated? You understand what I'm saying? Like, it just seems so obvious.
Yeah, you know what I picked up on the test, though? I'm sorry. What I picked up getting certified is that you have your natural and then the adaptive, right? And so, sometimes you do have to adapt. Let's just keep it real. Like I said before, I don't live in a world full of flamingos. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm dealing with my wife is not what I am. Didi's actually the opposite of what I am. You know what I'm saying? So, and we have to coexist. So I'm not Didi, Didi's not me. So there are times where I have to adapt. Like, I do have to be orderly to some extent. I'm not gonna be on Didi's level, but she'll be ready to divorce me, if I just don't even try. So I'm not suggesting that, you just are who you are and that's it. But I will say this, Carl, what I've learned, to C's point, when you know what you're gifted at and you operate in what you're gifted at, you do it subconsciously. So I've been telling people lately that when it's religious, so it's like one person may, they may execute every now and then. Somebody might do it like, regularly, but that person, like a Nick Saban does it religiously. And I've been doing my homework. And when you do something religiously, you do it with your subconscious. So you're not even aware of it. It's just like muscle memory. So you got your mind, your body, and your soul working on a thing. Whereas when you do something consciously, you still gonna mess up, Carl, because you're too focused. Like you're focusing on it. Like it's like you almost trying to do it. So when you're concentrating on it. So what I've been doing, and somebody told me to do this with Spanish, and I just like, bro, it don't even make sense. I was just on like the conscious boy. I got a pen, I got a pad, I'm writing everything. And it was like, E, let's just be real, E. When was the last time somebody learned a language with a pen and a pad? They're like, kids don't pick it up from a pen and a pad. They just in the environment. And so their subconscious just pick it up. Like they don't even know what you're talking about, but their subconscious pick it up. So bro, I've been going to bed listening to it. I'll listen to it and not really be paying attention to it. Just put it on and just, you know what I'm saying? And just let it flow. And I realize after 100 times, I pick up stuff that I'm like, yo, where I pick that up at? And it's just getting in my subconscious. So to C's point, I just think with Nick Saban, what I've learned from him, when you're doing it in a hotel, when you're doing it in your sleep, when you're doing it in the locker room, when you're doing it on the field, in practice, when you're doing it, bro, when it's showtime, when it's game time, it's easy for you to do. And we've seen free throw shooters who are like, I'm talking about they ice cold, they killing the game. But then once they get into the finals, especially college students, the road to the Final Four, they in the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8 or the Final Four, and they shooting like 80-something% from the free throw in regular season. But once they get in Final Four mode and there's seconds left and they get fouled and they get to the free throw line, bro, they missing 2 free throws. I'm like, how'd you miss 2 free throws? And it's now I'm thinking about shooting a free throw now, Carl. I'm thinking about it. I'm just not going to the free throw line just like busting them out. Now I'm like, okay, we down by 1. I need both of these. If I don't get both of these, it's gonna kill me. I'm just, okay, relax. Okay, you can do this. And it's like, bruh, when you playing preseason, you just shooting a rock. Like, it ain't even...
We saw my man last night for the Bears. For
the Bears.
42-yard field goal, whatever. My man, they called a timeout, so he knew the pressure wasn't on. He kicked it straight through the middle. That next joint, boing, hit straight off the side of the post. I'm just saying.
Talk about that, see them. How can we fix that, though, bruh? How do we fix that?
Well, yeah, no, I think, here's the thing. At what point do you say, like, yo, that's what makes the greats great? You know, Tom Brady don't miss that throw. Michael Jordan don't miss that free throw. Magic Johnson don't miss. Like, the greats are the greats because they don't choke up in that situation. And so I'm saying, at what point is this just a natural bell curve of these dudes not ready, or they may not ever be ready, or can you, that's what I'm trying to figure out, what's the secret sauce to get ready? You know what I mean? Because even with your success routine, and I love it, you got to have it, but what would you say to somebody who, okay, my success routine isn't necessarily producing Nick Saban-like results. You know what I'm saying? So now I got to tweak until I get my success routine right. So even if I'm studying myself and I understand it, if my routine is off, my results are off. Oh, write that down. That's a bar. Oh, that's a bar. Hold up. Remix. That was a bar. If my routine is off, my results will be off. So you may wake up and feel like you're doing the thing you're supposed to be doing, but then frustrated because the results are not there. And so I'm saying, how do we tweak that routine to make sure that we're getting the desired outcome?
Yeah, I think though you just said it. We don't focus on the results though. I think when I made the shift on stage was I don't care. That's when I made that shift. Like, yo, I don't care.
I
don't care if they like what I say.
No doubt.
He got a lot of money. He got a lot of financial freedom. He in here talking like this.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I remember getting to the point where realizing, like, yo, for real, who gonna rock with you, gonna rock with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, at some point, we all gonna die. You ain't gonna be tripping when I'm dead about what I said. You know what I'm saying? You gonna be like, that was legendary. You feel me? So for me, I think the shift didn't come from taking another class, whatever. It came from me getting on stage and just like, yo, E, relax, bro. Like, you the best. You know, and not even like in a cocky or arrogant way. It's just like, yo, this your time. Like, this is your season. You got the millennials, like, you speak in their heart. So when you get up there, stop focusing on, you chasing 2 rabbits. You ain't gonna catch neither one of them. Stop getting up here focusing on, it's like C used to say to us before we blew up on the confidence piece. It was like, yo, E, what's the worst they could say is no. What's the worst they could say? They ain't gonna bring you back. You already got the check. You feel me? You already did the gig. So if they never bring you back, who cares? You got one shot at this thing. So if they are going to bring you back, scared money don't win. If they are going to bring you back, it's going to be because you let it all out. You know what I'm saying? And whoever the CEO is, he going to have to respect you because he had to take some risk. So you're going to have to take the risk, E, and just say, who cares what they think? I'm going to go up there and give them what I think I should give them. I had a company to do, I had a company I spoke and they was like, yo, we ain't bringing you back. The CEOs was like, we ain't bringing you back. Like, fire message, but we don't necessarily like the perspective that you came from. Like, it didn't necessarily make us look good.
Right.
I'm gonna tell y'all what came.
You went in there trying to be a man of the people.
Yeah, I did. But let me tell you what came out of it, though.
We don't need that message. You trying to free slaves. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. But what came out of that message, and when they didn't want to deal with me no more, when they was like trying to, not in a negative way, but they're trying to play me, it hit me, see? And that's why some of y'all, don't be afraid. It hit me, see, when he was like, okay, well, we're not bringing you back for the next one. It hit me like, whoa, why am I waiting on you to bring me back for the next one anyway? I got the people's heart. 2019, I'm doing my own conferences for MLMs. Why am I waiting for you to bring me to your job to talk to my people? These are my sheep. I helped them to get to your company and blow up. You didn't help them get there and blow up. They weren't listening to you every day. You sold them a product that's benefiting your pockets. You ain't necessarily shepherd them like I shepherd them, my people. So guess what? I'm going to every major city where there's an MLM. I'm going to Utah because my people in Utah, these kids been rocking with me for the last 10 years. I'm going to LA. I'm going to Atlanta and work with MLM. So I'm telling y'all, some of y'all are scared to lose, but sometimes it's in losing that you gain, bruh. And so I walked away like, yo, why am I waiting on a phone call from y'all in the first place? Why am I letting y'all tell me I can only speak for 40 minutes? Why am I letting y'all tell me you're going to pay me $50,000? Like, what? Bruh, I can go to any place where there's an MLM and benefit these kids, and they know I love them because I've been rocking with them for free for the last 10 years. I ain't charged them nothing. So I'm like, yo, the days of that is over. We're doing conferences now in a way we've never done them before. You feel me? And so had I been scared to be and do what I was supposed to do, I wouldn't have had that conflict, and that conflict wouldn't have shown me where we could go in 2019. So I'm saying to somebody, you scared to lose. Like, you scared to lose something, not realizing that on the other side of what you scared to lose is something even greater. So I'm not telling you like to be kamikaze or lose that thing.
That take a lot of faith, though. It sound good,
yeah.
But to lose the known for the unknown, because in reality, you thinking I could go backwards. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could give up this job and I could do this. Like, I mean, people out here right now got an idea. They listening to the podcast right now. We pump them up every week. They have a good time with us, laugh with us. They got an idea that's sweet, something they've been wanting to do, but they got a family, they got a mortgage, they got a car payment, they got all of this stuff. And they know if I take this leap and go to the unknown, I could really be sacrificing the livelihood of my family. And I tell people all the time, like, people like, yo, y'all was brave for rolling with E and wasn't getting paid and all that. And I was like, not really. I ain't had no kids. Like, I don't mind eating peanut butter and jelly and ramen noodles. Like, I'm good. So I don't know if I would have made that decision if I had a family, if I had a mortgage. I don't know. Now, the easy thing for me to do is sit here on the podcast and be like, oh, yeah, bro, just faith, blind faith, jump. If I had set up a lifestyle, fortunately for me at the time, I was only responsible to, it was me and my wife. And so I feel you, but leaving good for great, when great may not be great, is a big risk that I think a lot of people struggle with. But at the same time, you'll never really know what it feels like to truly be free or to truly fly because, man, if you got something, I gotta imagine the worst thing in the world is to have something in you and to die with it. You know what I mean? Like, that's one thing. People ask me about, like, yo, what you do for a living and all of this and whatever. It's like, yo, I really feel like the way I'm living my life now, like, I will die with everything out of me. Like, yo, if I think of it, it's like, doggone it, we gonna do it. Like, and I remember E, and this, like I said, I don't even take credit for this. This is something that E said back in the day. Y'all heard us talking on the podcast before where it was like, I would say something out loud and E would be like, I look at E, he on the phone, he like, oh, I'm calling the venue. You said you wanted to do an event. I'm about to book it right now. And me and Carl be looking at each other like, yo, what are you doing? Like, he would, listen to me. We would be somewhere, we would be in the office and we would be spitballing. I'm like, yo, I think we could do an event for like 8th grade boys and we'll do like a manhood, a boyhood to manhood event. And I look up and E would be on the phone with a pastor friend like, yo, we need to use your E, see, what date was you saying? I'll be like, September 10th. And he'd be like, yo, we need to church September 10th. And like, it would be rolling before you knew it. But I say that to say, like what that trained me to do was like, I try not to say anything or even think anything that I know I'm not going to execute on, because I want to make sure that if I say it, I think it, if it's worthy of coming. Now, that doesn't mean everything I do comes to fruition, but it means it's down, it's on a piece of paper, it's in my phone, and it's ready to be executed upon. And I feel bad for people who, you know, die with all these gifts and talents that they never got a chance to use. And I think it's tough. And I understand, you know, the plight at the same time of, man, see, I hear what you're saying, but I set up this lifestyle now where I got these bills, I got, you know, these mortgages, I got this. I don't have, you know, a 6-month window or whatever. And so, I feel what you're saying. I just think it's easier said than done when you're talking about the faith component and having that faith of, if I leave, is it going to work out the way that, you know, you're saying, or the way that I hope it does? And if I, you know, sacrifice everything and it doesn't work out, now my wife ready to leave me, my kids not eating, they're not in private school anymore, whatever. You know what I mean? I think it's just a tough decision, a tough road to hoe, you know, as it pertains to that. But I definitely agree with you and feel what you're saying. I'm just not, I guess,
Carl,
I don't know.
Carl had the same experience you had. What would you say to the people?
So Drew asked me something last week, E. And so, see, I'm kind of, I'll kind of go through it. Drew asked me the question. We were just kind of talking about, you know, activities and what you're doing, and the concept of being busy over productive. And I think a lot of people, especially our followers, have somehow bought into being busy. It equates to being productive. And he asked me this question. He asked me, what are you avoiding by what you are doing now? And I had to think about it a couple of times. Like, he was like, yo, what are you avoiding by what you're doing now? So back to what you're saying, see, about going good to great. Like, I do believe most of us have some idea, something in there. Like, I just can't see us not, or if you feel like you don't, you haven't spent enough time to come up with it. Like, there's something in there, but what happens is, see, life is an equal opportunity employer. So life happens. So like C said, you got family, you got bills, you got stuff, and it chokes this thing out. Or for real, there's a lot of us that are scared of it. I'll say for myself, like, I think I was scared of it a lot of the time. Like, see, when we talk about the real estate, like, I was scared of, like, yo, what could happen if, what if? So a lot of times you just kind of do some stuff and make sure you still feel good about yourself because I'm busy. And that kind of like almost gives you this false sense of like, okay, I'm all right. I'm doing everything I know I'm supposed to do. But the reality is, we are avoiding what we're supposed to be doing by what we're doing now. And I think that goes for a lot of people. So I'm challenging people like, dude, what C is saying is not far-fetched. There are people that are doing it every day. I listened to a podcast called, I started listening to it last week, Bigger Pockets. Somebody in BU mentioned it's a real estate podcast. And dude, like every week they're interviewing somebody that left a job and started some investment, not all real estate, some investment, and making, 6, 7, 8 figures. So people are doing it all around us. But I'm challenging myself and everybody else listening, start a plan. This is what I'll say. See, to the good to great, start a plan. You do need to start saving regardless that 6 months, because life is an equal opportunity employer, and I don't care where you work, something could happen. We've been through a recession before, stuff could happen. So in any case, you need to start making some plans, some adjustments. But I'm just saying, face it, man. There's something that you know that's put deep inside of you, some idea, something with kids. You've been working with kids. I talked to somebody this week and I was like, yo, I've watched you with kids. You don't have any, but you're good with kids. Like, there's something in you with that. You know what I'm saying? There's something in there. So I'm challenging people, stop being busy, stop avoiding it, and figure out what it is that you're avoiding, man. Like, search deep inside and get that thing. Because one more thing, Jamal said to me, when we this last year, we started talking about the whole real estate stuff. I'm talking before I got into real estate. Like, his question to me is, so once the real estate gets going, listen to the environment, all right? Once the real estate gets going, what business would you start next? And I was like, say what? Like, I'm just at step point 1, not step 1 yet. I'm point 1. We just started talking about real estate, and the next question he asked me is, what's next? Like, what's the next big idea? What business are you going to start? And that's what I'm challenging you guys with. Like, whatever you're doing now is great for now. But 5 years from now, it's not going to sustain you. It's inflation, doggone it. If nothing else, inflation, things going to get more expensive. It's not going to sustain your family. What next? There is something greater beyond this. And for real, you just got to take step one, step point one, like me, step point two, step point three, and kind of get there. But bottom line, like face that thing that you're avoiding, like face it, like bottom line.
Yeah, no question. I love it, Carl. That's great information. So again, back to, I guess just the routine part of it. How do we go about modifying that routine? Like if we do get over the fear, if we do get over the stuff, how did you modify your routine to make sure it fit your success habits? You know what I mean? Even beyond your personality and things like that. Like, did you ever have to make an adjustment? Like you always say, I woke up at 3:00 in the morning. Like, did you ever have to make an adjustment to that? Or, how do you make the adjustment so that it can lead to those desired results?
Well, I'm gonna be real with you. See, looking back, I don't think that it was my routine that blew me up. We were talking earlier about Dame and Jay-Z. And I think it was adding others to my routine that took me to the next level. And I think that's where some of us go wrong. We think that the success is just in our daily routine. But the real success is in your daily routine and the 5 people closest to your daily routine. That's where the success is. So it's what you said, when we did the assessment, like, E was very talented when I met him. But on a scale of 1 to 10, and 10 being the highest in terms of a household name, he was probably at a 3. And between, your branding and Carl's, editing with the TGIM, that's what made me one of the top, motivational speakers of all time. Now, I'm not even dealing with right now in this era. I'm saying that with the machine that, we built, you're talking about would be considered one of the greatest of all time. You know what I'm saying? And so that had nothing to do with just my routine. That had something to do when I added, of course, you to the routine. We added Carl to the routine. Then we started adding other pieces to the routine. Now we got, like Carl said, Jamal. You know what I'm saying? You got Josh. You got LaShawna doing her thing now. When you start adding other routines to your routine, then that's when you get to the place where I feel like, is Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime is not Optimus Prime because of himself. Optimus Prime is who he is because of Autobots. You know what I'm saying?
For me, man, Carl, I would say his ability to lock in. Carl has an insane ability to, like, if he gets a task, like he kind of mentioned it, but I'm gonna take it a step further. I mean, he is going to work it from every angle. I tend to, like, if I don't understand something, I get frustrated quick. Like, the dryer went out last night. I promise you. I went and hit saw it to see if the breaker was done. Like, I went and looked at the breaker, was like, nope, that didn't mess up. I unplugged it and plugged it back in. It still didn't work. I called the handyman immediately. And Carl is the type where he's going to take the time to be like, let me pull the back of this thing off. Let me see what's really going on. Let me investigate it. And I get impatient real quick. So I appreciate Carl's patience. And I probably need a little bit more of that in my life. Ease is easy. I would steal E's motor in a heartbeat. Of course, y'all know E got a motor. I had to manufacture my motor. Like, I need to pull out a picture of Trey and Avery and look at it like, I'm tired. Like, I don't feel like doing it. I don't necessarily feel like getting after it. Like, I could use a nap. And I kind of have to, like, I'm not rare in that sense where it's just like comes natural. But obviously E's motor to, like, go hard for hours and hours and days on end. I can remember, being in Australia and E just dragging me to the finish line. And, I don't have that natural God-given motor, I would say. And so I would definitely steal E's motor and his ability to, like, we just worked, 5 straight 14, 15-hour days and I'm about to die. And E wake up like, let's go. What we doing? Where we going? I would definitely take that. So, that's a good question, though. I really like this question. Mike from Tallahassee said, "What's most changed about each of you since the money started rolling in.
Uh,
He got AirPods.
He got the AirPods, no doubt. So we
Right.
got that one.
No, what would you say? Okay, so let's do this for all of us and do it the same way we just did it. So, Carl, you start. What's changed with me and E, and then we'll go all around. We gotta say what's changed about each other.
Is it the money though? Has it been the money?
Yeah, and I think it'd be funnier than to say, because y'all just gonna be like, I mean, nothing's changed, you know? I'm still just little old me.
Oh, I can go.
Yeah, I'm
Carl,
thinking.
Carl's still
give me a second.
cheap, so I'm trying to think of Carl's, because Carl's still cheap. Carl ain't spending no money. You know what I'm saying? Carl trying to hoard it.
Yeah, so for me, I think Carl's confidence has gone to another level. You know what I'm saying? Since the money, like, you know what I'm saying? He just got a different swag. You know what I'm saying? Got a different swag, different confidence. And like, he always knew, I think, internally that, you know, whatever it was he was doing it at a high level. But I think when people start valuing that, it's a different like swag that he walks with. You know what I'm saying? And for C, it's weird, but I think for C, it's, man, I don't even know how to say it, you know, but because it's not material stuff. But I think for C is like, in terms of business, like once the money started coming in, C was like, okay, this is what we're capable of. So I think C's always been had a vision, but I think now that vision has been expanded and broadened to, okay, we should be expanding in this business, we should be doing this business. And so it's like no limits. I remember when C first started, yeah, he had a vision, but it might have been like for a program, like for the Advantage, or it might have been like for, we need to be doing these, like mixtapes. But now it's industry. You know, C is like, he's thinking industry, like not just like small stuff, if you will. So for me, that's what I see.
Hey, so I'll say for E definitely got bougie. And I'll say bougie and when I say it in a good way, it's similar to what you were just saying for C, like the exposure to life, man, and having life. And I guess, you know, it's all encompassing. Your wife got MS, so your perspective on a day now is completely different.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
No,
like now you're able to compartmentalize things in a way that, like, even though you still have that motor, like the motor is now like prioritized. Let me put it that way. That's a good way to say it. So he's got bougie in the sense that, like, I'm not gonna settle for anything less than, like, this could be my last day. This could be Didi's last day of walking, seeing. Who knows what's going on? So I'm about to get everything I could get. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we joke on the first class flights and that kind of stuff. But it's deeper, like, yo, life is here for us to live and I'm gonna get everything out of it. So definitely E. And see why I'm clouded with you is because it's almost weird. It's almost like we got families and stuff while all this was going on. So I never really thought about it from the business sense. Like, I've seen you grow so much as you know what I'm saying, a husband, a father, like all that encompassing, you know what I'm saying? So I've never even, to be honest, sat down and thought about what has money done for CJ, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be real with y'all, like, the house you was in before was beautiful, the house you in now beautiful. Like, it ain't, like, that didn't change, if you get what I'm saying. It's not like he said, it's not material. I think the twist, so similar to what E was saying, the twist is, like, what the vision of having a Jamal, and let me just say this, like, transparency, like the vision of building the brand bigger than E. Let me put it that way. I think that's huge because, again, everything we did was ET for the first, 7-8 years or whatever. And I think one of the strategic things that C has done, and again, it's just all on the way he thinks. His thinking has grown. So the brand itself, as we said before, is the biggest thing. So we can't build the brand just on one person. Not that anything is wrong with that, but because my vision is so much bigger, so like C's vision has expanded so much, like we gotta have multiple, not just people, but multiple genres that we champion. And okay, we got speaking. Now we got Toby as an artist. Now we're gonna tap into real estate. We got Josh in the business. So let's just make this thing bigger and broader. So I think just kind of along with the lines of what E would say, like, see, your vision is like by far like grown, like, you know what I'm saying? There's no limits now to what we can accomplish with that, yeah.
Can I just say this feels a lot better than the negative feedback? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm feeling real good right now. You know what I'm saying? The negative feedback, we're going to give it to y'all in 2019, but maybe we need to do a positive feedback because my heart is full. And as a gorilla, I really don't need it, but it feels good anyway. I would say Carl, money has, I would say, I agree with E, the confidence but I think it has kind of elevated you in terms of your leadership, especially inside of your family. Like I just see like, your ability, like whereas, when we started this thing off and it might have been like, yo, are we getting, you know what I mean? Are we doing the right thing? It's like now you can like walk around kind of like, yo, I told y'all, you know what I'm saying? And not in a bad way, but like in a like, okay, let me show you guys how we did it. And then of course with the real estate stuff and all of that, I just see like the confidence in your ability to lead your own family first as being like, I still want you to be, you know what I'm saying, a bit more aggressive in your leadership with ETA. But in terms of like your direct family and the people around you, I think
like,
they're able to see like, whoa, Carl making some huge strides. Yeah. So, and then with E, the biggest thing that the money has done for E, in my opinion, and again, besides Didi, I'm probably the closest human to him in the world. And what I've seen with E, when the money really start coming in, and keep in mind, E was already like, he's gonna say what's on his mind. But let's say there was 5% that E would hold back because it was like, okay, see, you know what I'm saying? See, just had a trade, you know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta make sure we secure the bag and don't fumble it, if you will. And so like, if you ever see like a running back who runs, when he is even remotely worried about fumbling, he don't fully open up and try to hit that hole. He might like keep two hands on it or like, keep a firm grasp like, ooh, I could fumble. And what I see now of E is, which scares me to death as the brand, as the brand guy. But I'm talking about E running free like, yo, if I fumble.
No filter.
And I say something that offends people or ruffles feathers in the wrong way, like, you got to think of like how much E talks. Like, and I mean this in a good way, but like, imagine being on stage for hours and hours and hours, and not just in front of like, the people in the room, but like this stuff is to the world. Like you can go on Instagram, Facebook, like there are literally like 1,000+ hours of E talking. And to think about, especially in today's society where everything is so PC and people would destroy you for the most slight offhanded comment you ever make. And I'll be honest, here's an example. Like I'm doing the album and one of the words E always says chicks. And I'm like, yo, 5 years ago, I never even would have thought about that. But E might have been like, yo, we had some chicks in the room, came up to the room. And I'm like, ooh, chicks. And I know E doesn't mean it, but it's like, yo, my man talks literally all day, every day. I know he doesn't mean any harm by the word chicks. Obviously, he's a loving husband and, father to a daughter. But, I'm seeing E like unfiltered to now where it's like, okay, if a $50,000 engagement decided they didn't want to bring me back at this same time next year, I don't care. Whereas before, he didn't care, but he kind of cared. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. Like it was a little bit of care in there. And now I'm seeing like just the ultimate freeness of like, yo, I don't care if it ruffled the people's feathers who's sitting in these seats. I don't care if it ruffled the feathers of the people who brought me in. I don't care if YouTube don't like it. I don't care if I'm going to tell you what's on my heart, like straight, uncut, raw as it gets. And it's been fun to watch. It's been scary, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, whoa, E, calm down. But it is what it is. And I think, E, I don't know if you can even speak to that. If you feel more liberated, and like I said, trust me, I'm not saying you was at all pump faking before, but I feel like it's going to a whole nother level. So the money, of course, E don't never buy nothing. Of course, he won't never, besides the travel accommodations, we still ain't seen a watch, a chain.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I heard a rumor about him getting some gold teeth, but that ain't happened yet.
I got an insider too.
Hey, you know what else is fire on the low and not on the low anymore? It's 2019, Organifi. I'm talking about, man, I'm so ready. Like, I'm so ready for 2019, and Organifi is just helping me get to that next level, man. You guys know, if you've been listening to the podcast, if you're new to the podcast, Organifi is our top sponsor of this podcast, man, and we really, got on, with them because we love the product. Like Sean, of course, shout out to Sean Stevenson, the Model Health Show, our guy, put us on the Organifi, said, hey, y'all need to try this product. It's a great product. We started using it. I told Sean, I said, yo, I love it. And I'm ready to talk about it on the podcast and put our people onto it, but we need to check. So Organifi was like, bet, we got y'all. Y'all got us, we got y'all. So it's been a great partnership for us. I don't know, Carl, last year and a half maybe. But we are on it heavy, man. The superfood green juice powder. Listen, man, for all of you guys getting up every day and trying to juice every single day and it's just not working out, grab you one little packet of Organifi, toss it in the water, shake it up, and go, man. The best thing about it is it actually tastes good, all right? This is not one of those, when you hear and you say green juice powder, you're like, oh, man, it's going to taste, plug my nose and drink it. I promise you it is not that. It's got a little sweet taste to it, and it is essential for your healthy well-being, man. So I'm on it daily. I've implemented some of the other products now, the red and the gold, and it's been phenomenal, man. So shout out to everybody who's already tried Organifi, man. It's 2019. You're trying to get on your health kick. You're trying to stay on your health kick. This is a great tool in helping you do that, all right? So go to Organifi.com. That's Organifi.com, Organifi.com. Promo code SUCCESS, all right? Promo code SUCCESS, and make sure you get that discount. Use the promo code. Let them know we sent you so that Organifi can keep rocking with us and we can keep rocking with y'all and bring y'all this podcast free of charge, all right? Yeah, Organifi, shout out to them. Maybe real quick before we go, because I know we got to run. I got a ton of stuff to do. But do you feel the money has made you a little bit more free in terms of your speaking?
So I wouldn't say my money, but our money. Because I don't think I was protecting, myself. I think, like you said, I was protecting us, because more so, you guys, because of, something happens to the brand, like C said, like, all I got is, like, on my resume, it'd be I blew ET up. You know what I'm saying? So,
one-line resume.
Depending on which industry you're in, that could sound sweet,
you know what I'm saying?
or it could be about as worthless as, you know what I'm saying?
So for me, I think that's what I was concerned about. And so when we start building a brand beyond ET, and I saw where, okay, money's gonna be made there, money's gonna be made, this person can make money there, we good. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've diversified now. So now that we're diversified, it's just like anybody else that's diversified. You can take more risk when you diversify. You got one thing and one thing, like, you can't take a whole bunch of risk like that. So I think that's what happened. Once we got diversified, I was like, I want to be able to help people to the highest level. And to help people to the highest level, you have to be very candid. You have to be very honest. You know what I'm saying? You can't help people to grow when you sugarcoating stuff. You know what I'm saying? So there was a time where I would, like you said, 85% be very candid. But my wife, even last night, she was putting some stuff together for the church. And she was like, okay, do you want this to stay like that? I was like, absolutely. I'm willing to go head to head with anybody as it relates to the Bible. You know what I'm saying? This is what the Bible says. You feel me? So yeah, I do think that. But to Carl's point, I wanted to say, I have even gone to another level of bougie, if that's what you want to call it, that I'm even, like, there's even a different class, the first class, and my wife is not comfortable right now, doing, a private jet. You know what I'm saying? She's not comfortable with, just us in the flight with a pilot, whatever, at this point in our lives. But for me, it's another level of first class in that when you're going from Detroit to San Fran, that's a 5-hour flight. So what we've been doing, and we can always do it in Atlanta, I'm seeing that Detroit must not necessarily be on that level economically, because they don't really have the lay-down boys. But it's a different experience when you go from Atlanta to Cali and you're in the lay-down boy when Didi can sleep, as opposed to having to sit up the whole time. And even though the seats are bigger and they're inclined, and you can get a little, meal or whatever, the reality is still the same, that it's still stressful. So for me, I have been strategic about, if we're in Miami, finding a flight that has the recliner bed, you know what I'm saying, so that we can take that much more stress off of her, on the flight. So yeah, so no questions asked, Carl. And I would say to you guys, if you don't mind, CJ, this will be the nugget of the day for me. But I'm gonna say to you guys, create your own emergency. Don't let life make one for you.
Yeah.
You feel me?
No, E, just hold it for 2 seconds, because I was just gonna come right back after you and tell you, like, for real, that's the thing that I think I appreciate the most for you and Didi now, because every time I look at you, like for real, like you have to remember that she has a chronic illness. You know what I mean? And you also have to remember that she was good one day and then she wasn't. You know what I'm saying? So it forces me every time I look at you to be like, yo, don't get up today and wait, doggone it, until tomorrow happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get up and wait for it. Like, you got to do everything you can today. Like, and when I say everything you can, I'm not talking about overworking and all that. Like, I'm being transparent. I'm here with my daughter alone right now. She out there, she bossing up and just chilling by herself. But like, yo, as soon as I hang up, I'm about to go spend an hour with her now because like, yo, you just sacrificed, you know, some time to do, you know, what we have to do. But like for real, tomorrow, I don't know if she's sick, I'm sick, I leave, get into acting. Like you just don't take stuff for granted. So no, I just want to thank you and Didi for just like, you know what I'm saying, living that, man, and keeping it something like present in our lives.
Yeah, and I hate that I had to wait.
You want to thank Candace and I for, you know what I'm saying?
Your humility, see? Your humility, see? You want to thank you for your humility.
I wanted to give him the proper time. I wanted to let him know, even though the podcast we running short on time, I still had time. In case Candace and I had demonstrated any excellence.
Hey, because it's so long, I'm going to save it for next time. That's why. I'm saving it for next week.
Later, no question that.
It's too long.
Yeah. So no, that's the podcast, you know, because I look at my mother-in-law, she was diagnosed with cancer. Didi said it was longer than 8 years ago. How long was it, Didi?
That's crazy.
Wow.
No, it wasn't
2008.
that long ago, was it?
Didi said it was
No,
2008.
it really
you know
was.
it was too, because we were still doing
It
church
was.
at LCC or something like that.
Yep. So Didi is saying that her mom was diagnosed with it in 2008, and here it is. You know what I'm saying? She's still kicking. But we did change the way we changed the way we dealt with her. Our relationship changed. Like if I had any disagreements or any misunderstandings with my mother-in-law, I promise you, with the cancer and the chemotherapy and the radiation, it was all gone. But why do we? We have to wait for that? Why do we have to wait for that? You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing: there were people who were literally crying when they found out my mother-in-law was diagnosed with cancer, and pretty much for real, the physicians was like, "Yo, go home. You know, enjoy the next 6 months of your life. It's over." And the people who cried, there were people who cried. They're no longer with us right now. And they didn't have a chronic illness, or they didn't have a terminal illness, and they're not with us. So you think when you look at somebody with cancer, it's like, oh, they're gonna die. You know, poor them. It's like, no, poor you, because nothing's gonna happen to you. And so you're gonna waste the next 30 years on average. You're going to waste the next 30 years on taking your spouse for granted, taking your kids for granted, because ain't nothing wrong with them. And I can truly say, although I would have never prayed that this would happen to my wife, I can definitely tell you my quality of my life is better. The quality of her life is better, you know, as a result of it. Like, bruh, I wouldn't just pick up. I just picked up and came to San Francisco for the game. I just picked up, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have been talking when I started, me and Cochran are cool, and he was like, yo, E, you know, you ain't coming to none of the games this year. You got to come to experience the game. And so I was like, yo, bro, I got you. I'm coming to this one right here. You feel me? And the Super Bowl, doing the Super Bowl. You know, Didi, if you want to do the finals, we're going to the finals. Like, I'm just saying, whatever you want to do, we're going to do it, because tomorrow is not guaranteed. So somebody's listening on the phone, on the podcast, and you like, well, ain't nothing wrong with my spouse, or ain't nothing wrong with my kids, or ain't nothing wrong with my, bruh, create your own emergency, right? Because all it takes is the body to think, the mind to think something is wrong for it to actually operate like it's something wrong. You feel me? So just act like something's wrong. And I remember when Didi was first diagnosed, she is definitely not where she was then, but I'm not taking my foot off the gas and going, oh, well, she's still walking. Oh, well, and we're going to take it back. Nope, I'm keeping my foot on the gas saying tomorrow might be the day that she does, or if you don't take care of her, she might end up going there. So you got to keep your foot on the gas, keep the sunshine going, stay in California, stay in Miami. I had a gig the other day, somebody called me about Miami. I'm like, take it. They're like, E, but it's a baby discount. It ain't the full, take it, and just get me a couple more days of the hotel. Stretch the hotel boy out so I can stay in that sun and get that sun. You know, so if you're out there, it doesn't have to be a real emergency. You can create one. You can say, what if my child had, you know, some type of, you know, chronic illness, or what if my child, you know, had a physical whatever, and they couldn't play football and couldn't play basketball? Go to every game. Go to every game. Why? Because what if they couldn't? What if they couldn't walk? Then I would never be able to go to a game. So please create your own emergency. Create your own urgency. Don't wait for life to create an urgency for you. Create your own, because when you take your life to that level of urgency, emergency, you execute on a level that you probably wouldn't have executed on had you taken stuff for granted. So please be grateful for the meals. Be great. Open the doors. Say I love you. Like whatever. I just said to the church, see, the other day something happened and I had to do something for Dee Dee, and it was a little baby, misunderstanding because I was gonna go. I was on my way to your house, your parents' house, see, and then the FedEx came right when I was on my way. I had an appointment with your father, and then I had to, and I was like, I didn't know, and it was a little like, well, what you go? And I said, you know what, God. Took the chairs to the church, came back and was like, you know what, Dee Dee, look, I'm sorry. Like, I had something to do and I got a little agitated because I'm thinking, now I got to do this. But I told him I was going to do 9 and I didn't want to be on Wakanda time. I wanted to be on real time. So when I said 9, I wanted my 9 to be 9. You know what I'm saying? 2018, I was all about that life, and so I had to go back and say I was sorry. And I remember going in, Dee Dee gorillaed out. So I remember going in and saying, well, what if you say you're sorry? And she just kind of like whatever. Or what if she rejected, you ain't sorry, whatever. And I was like, no, you got one life. You got one day with her. You're about to get on a plane and go to San Francisco later on that day. Just go in there and say you're sorry. Don't mess up the day. This the only day you have. Do not mess up this day on some you don't feel like getting rejected stuff. Go in there and tell her what's really on your heart. Tell her how you feel. So even if she don't respond in the right way, just you said what was on your heart. You got that out. And I went and was like, yo, D, I promise you, I wasn't on that. I just was like, for real, I felt like I needed to be on time. And how in the world did the truck come right when I was getting ready to leave or whatever? I apologize. I didn't mean it no kind of way. And she's like, oh, okay. Well, I apologize too. You thought I was saying I wanted you to do it then. I wasn't saying that. I was just saying we need to get them and we need to. And I was like, wow, praise God. So if you out there, man, you only get one on earth. Like whatever's next, that's by faith. But right now you got this one, and you can't be mad at life, if you're not giving it all you got. Give it all you got. Give it all you got. You know what I'm saying? So give it all you got, and for real, operate with a sense of urgency now. No opportunity wasted.
Hey, man, appreciate that nugget
Yes,
today.
sir.
Hey, man, quick shout out, man. I want to give a big shout out. We got a new member to the family, man, Marcel McCassell Jr.
Yes.
Shout out to my new nephew,
Isn't that
man, Marcel Bianca.
Marcel
Congratulations,
Jr.
y'all. Welcoming the healthy baby boy into this world, man. And shout out to the two of you, man. I missed y'all, man. It's been too long.
It's been too long.
We're back on the airwaves. You know what I'm saying? We back on the airwaves with the people.
Hey, and
After
what about Jamie having a baby on Christmas?
Oh, yeah, Jamie too. Yep, sorry. Jamie's was a little bit before. So, yeah, Marcel was just the other day. But also, what's Jamie baby name?
Jeremiah.
Help me out. Jeremiah, that's right. Yep. So shout out to Jamie and Trina as well. We got all kind of new babies popping up. I'm not one of them. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Also, man, shout out to my man Jordan, the 6th man. I should have said, Carl, I got some Jordans for Christmas too, man. So shout out to Jordan. Hold on, let me get his Instagram handle right for all you guys who need the plug on the shoes. Let me give him a shout out because he always take care of me. If you got big feet, or if you got regular sized feet, my man just a beast. The _6th man _. So 6 spelled all the way out, SIXTHMAN.
He got a solid for Christmas.
He got me right with the Concord.
Yeah, he got me right
Concord.
for Christmas. Yeah.
I got the only size they made in 14. My man got the plug on everything. So shout out to, I got my Jordans from Jordan.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Let's get it.
Other than that, man,
We'll have to wear our Concords on one day.
Do you have any announcements?
Nope, that we all need to wear our
Hey, how y'all
Concords.
Jamaica bodies looking? How y'all Jamaica bodies looking?
Mine looking
Let's
good.
just have a keep a t-shirt.
Mine looking good.
Well,
I'm
let's
fully
just
dressed
say
like
I'm
Carl
gonna have a winter
said.
coat on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm bringing a winter jacket.
I'm fully dressed like Carl said. Hey,
Maul keep hitting me every day talking about, yep. Don't you hate when you see somebody who already sweeter than you, working harder than you? It's like, Maul, I'm like Maul. If you don't sit down with them biceps talking about something, hey, see, we gotta get ready for Jamaica. I'm like, bro, I'm eating.
Yeah, I'm getting ready
talking about.
I'm getting ready for the game. They got popcorn, peanuts, hot dogs.
doubt.
I'm getting ready for the game, bro. I'm getting ready for the game, bro.
So we won't see. So we won't see a 6-pack in Jamaica.
Oh, you'll see a keg. You'll see a keg.
So you see one, but it won't be mine.
Yeah, you'll see a keg, though. I got that keg going.
You know what I'm saying? Because somebody asked me, like, oh, Jamaica coming up, you doing anything special? I'm like,
yeah, living. Yeah, I'm living.
You know what? No. I'm
Living my
saying when
life
you
like
turn
it's
a certain
golden.
age, it's like, man, okay, you trying to like prevent disease and heart attacks and stuff like that. Like, the 6-pack is just you know what I'm saying, a pipe dream at this point.
Hey, tell Maul.
Shout out to Sean, man. I'm gonna start working. I have been thinking like, shoot, I should get with Sean and like really try to take this thing to another level.
I can't do it.
And then I get hungry, and I'm like, shoot.
I can't do it.
You know what I'm
I can't do it. Yeah. Hey,
I don't know if I want it as bad as I want
told
to.
Sean, that's the problem right there. I told Sean, I said, Sean, Rochelle, I work out 5 times a day. I'm running and that's it. I ain't picking nothing. I ain't lifting nothing. I don't know that no human ever was lifting weights throughout history. I'm like, bro, ain't nobody. That's a new phenomenon. We'll see at the end of this earth. Which one of us, when we leave, if your triceps still gonna be big when they put you in that casket? So I'm like, y'all knock that out. I'll knock this out, and we'll meet each other on the other side. I'll have a sweet body on the other side.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm so disappointed in my metabolism. I'm like, this is unbelievable. The amount I have to work just to stay neutral is unreal. You know what I'm saying?
To stay there.
And my neutral ain't sweet. I'm like, bro. I'm thinking as much work as I've been putting in, I should look like The Rock, and I don't. So anyway, man, all right, well, let's get off this thing, man. We appreciate everybody for listening. Shout out to Organifi, BreatheUniversity.com.
The assessment, Carl. Make sure, where do they go for that, Carl?
The assessment.
Oh, yeah. ET, let me get that in. etinspires.com /assessment.
/assessment.
etinspires.com /assessment. Yep.
Man, peace and love to everybody out there. I hope your 2019 is off to a great start. Listen, man, no distractions this year, no haters. We just rolling, man. So get it done, knock it out. We love you. We'll see you next week.
I want you to focus on here right now. Don't you worry about when you get home. You concentrate on this opportunity. You don't worry about tomorrow. You concentrate on this opportunity with all your might, with all your soul.